Camera performance comparison time. Pixel 7 and 7a look so similar and have so many things in common that we need to dig deeper in order to find out which is the better camera smartphone. Let's inspect. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing well. I'm your Tech Mishka and it's time for another fierce smartphone camera battle. This year is the Google Pixel 7a, which got released a few months after we got the mighty Pixel 7 series debut, and we know that the Pixel 7 and the 7 Pro are famous for being among the best camera smartphones out there. But can the Pixel 7a be that good? This is what we want to find out through this video. As usual, a lot of samples, thoroughly analyzing how the photos and videos feel, and for this video, sit back, relax, enjoy, watch in the maximum possible video resolution, and if you want to compare some of the samples by yourself, download them from the video description area. Main camera performance, daytime photo. How to find any drawbacks or major differences at the first sight? Almost perfectly balanced photos. Exposure, contrast, saturation, dynamic range. Google are masters about photo processing. A second sample confirms our observations, and even if we zoom in, there are gonna be very few differences to notice. Although, yeah, I feel that the car plate number is better readable on the left. In terms of hardware, 7a seems to be equipped with wide aperture optics in front of the supposedly IMX787 Sony-made main image sensor, while the mighty Pixel 7 relies on the 50-megapixel GN1 Samsung-made image sensor. The latter one is a well-known top performer, while the Pixel 7a's image sensor has been so far primarily used by ZTE and the Nubia series. The first impressions are very positive, though. Therefore, no surprise that recording video with these phones is also a pleasure. Up to 4K 60 frames per second is possible. This here is a regular sample with about twice less frames per second. If we try to push the main cameras of both phones to the limits, we'd go for comparing the low-light photos. Since Google approaches the photo processing in almost the same way, it's hard to talk about significant differences in the first sample. What I didn't expect, though, is the gap in the second example. Hard for me to explain why the trees look so grainy, but when it comes to photographing buildings, Pixel 7 has the edge. Most of the samples that you're going to see are captured with the famous night sight mode, but the automatic photo tuning is anyway smart enough to switch to it when conditions require it. If you're interested in capturing video at night, Pixel 7 may be slightly better. You can notice more grain. This looks like noise from the high ISO setting, but there clearly are more details in the tiles, and the stabilization is much better due to the more efficient OIS in the 7. This well justifies the bump on the back side, I guess. Still, the Pixel 7a captured video is not bad at all. Most people probably wouldn't be able to tell there's any difference. The zoom function is part of the main camera's sensor arsenal, so here's the 8-time digital zoom side by side, where we have a few stacked images processed by Google's camera AI. Quality is acceptable, but I personally would avoid using anything greater than a 4-time zoom. It otherwise gets too pixelated. Given the demonstrated thus far performance, I give the winner award to the Google Pixel 7's main camera, but it's been really close, and for some of the shots, 7a was even slightly better. Let's broaden the perspective and see what the ultra-wide cameras have to offer. Pixel 7a's camera is marked as 0.5 zoom, while Pixel 7 relies on a 0.7 magnification, meaning that 7a has a much wider field of view, and this will of course cause certain distortions in the image, but means that you can fit a lot more within the given field of view, and that's brilliant for landscapes. Hardware of both cameras is apparently different, and I feel that the superiority of Pixel 7 is well notable. I'd choose the Pixel 7 captured photo almost every single time I have to when it comes to daytime performance. In low light, surprisingly, I feel that the 7a takes the lead. Sharper, even somewhat more detailed, and in some areas the dynamic range looks great. The very same statement is confirmed by the low-light video performance of both, something I'll happily avoid doing on a regular basis, however, because the ultra-wide cameras are not really great about that. because of the better low-light performance, I believe the Pixel 7a's ultra-wide camera deserves the win here. Let's turn the phone around, and the selfie cameras are our next task. Pixel 7 has a tad wider field of view, but that doesn't make any notable difference. I think I prefer the photo on the left side. And how about your opinion? Good to mention that the hardware of these front cameras is different, and this seems to be another area explaining the price difference between both of the phones. Because Pixel 7 can record 4K video just like the 7a, but it can also offer 60 frames per second, which the 7a is not capable of. Plus, the photos seem to be slightly better. We're combining the performance and the hardware, and the equation points to another Google Pixel 7 win. If we explore some of the other common modes, Google's camera app has some more tricks up its sleeves. Something that 7a had out of the box and is already available for plenty of the other Pixel devices, the long exposure mode. In fact, Pixel 7 goes even further with the option to capture action pan, but even with the long exposure and a bit of patience, you can trick the 7a into doing something similar. Portrait mode is, in my opinion, equally good on both phones. Reason is that it's mostly down to the software processing, and Google are doing outstanding job with the tuning of these photos. You're gonna find the portrait mode available for the main camera, as well as the front camera. There is no dedicated macro mode, unfortunately, but applying some digital zoom does the job right, and Pixel 7 was the phone which convinced me that this approach works really well. If you're looking for more differences between both, there's another worth mentioning, the so-called cinematic mode, where the Pixel 7 records in 1080p, 24 frames per second, and manages to apply shallow depth of field on the go, similar to what iPhone devices can do, but they're capable of applying this even in 4K resolution. Well, Pixel 7a has this feature entirely missing, and I suspect it's rather a marketing-driven decision. Conclusion time, and based on all these video and photo samples, I know it's really difficult to pick a clear winner among these two, but my personal choice would remain the Google Pixel 7. Yes, the camera right now is slightly better, perhaps over time, because the hardware here in the 7a is very new. Most likely Google is going to extract even further in terms of quality, but I think I prefer the Pixel 7 because of the slightly quicker charging and the few more software features which we don't know whether they would really make its way to the Pixel 7a. So that's everything about this episode. Hopefully that was fun, and in case you want to do your own comparison, you can download everything, which is linked in the video description area. Should you have some questions, or if you want to share with me which of these two smartphones you prefer, please comment. Section is down below the video. It's been a pleasure to prepare all of that for you, and I really look forward to seeing you in the next video, so subscribe. I'm Michael, and wish you a fantastic day. Bye.